welcome back to Orangeline. I'm Dannie Harris, and I'm joined in studio with Coach Zach Kindler. Thank you for joining me.
You bet. Thanks, Dannie.
So congrats on your second and third place this weekend. How do you think the teams did overall?
I think we did a tremendous, great job. I mean, we, in the most part, I think that the ladies' side definitely surprised us. It's very exciting. I knew that we had a top 3 team coming in, but to end up second place, it just showed how much the ladies really wanted it. They went after it. And then on our guys' side, we kind of knew second place was going to be tough to get. First place was kind of out of position. But third place, we kind of had an idea that we definitely had that position wrapped up coming in. But once we got in there and we really started after day one competing as well as what we did, it just showed that our guys the same way. They really wanted it. They performed very well, and both teams had just an exceptional weekend.
Okay. And who are the key players?
Oh, we had 34 seasonal bests at the conference meet, so it's tough to just sum up one key player on both men and women's side. On our women's side, to kind of start, we had 2 individual conference champs. We had Aubrey Gustin repeated in the women's javelin, and then Devin Freeman, a freshman, won the women's 10K. Mary Loveland, she placed second in the 5K and the 3,000 steeplechase, so very exciting to have that. Our relay teams did very well. We took top 3 in the 4x8, top 3 in the 4x4, and then we were second in the 4x1. So, it's our women's vault scored 15 points. I mean, our women's distance team just alone scored 49 points. And so on the ladies' side, it's tough to really individualize one key player out of that because it was definitely a team effort. Kind of the same thing on the guys' side. Aaron Hannon, as always, stepped up, and he's definitely one of those guys that we're very lucky to have on our team. He was the highest point scorer in the conference, and he placed in the javelin, the long jump, the pole vault, the 4x1, the 110 hurdles, the 400 hurdles, and so pretty much if there's an event, he was in it. So he did a lot. Comey did well in the 100. Our men's 4x1 won that and set a new seasonal best, and currently are set 4th in the nation. So definitely very, very excited how they ran. Our throwers all stepped up, our distance guys. And so in the most part on both sides, men and women, it was just a weekend where everybody had a lot of fun. Everybody did exceptionally well. So it was definitely one of those weekends that I really knew we can do if we put it together, but it really, it happened, and it was very, very fun to be associated with it.
Good. You were Coach of the Year for the women's team again. How do you feel about that?
Well, I was surprised. It's something that I really wasn't expecting to get. But it just comes with the ladies. They're the ones that did that. It's not so much anything that I did to really deserve that I changed anything this year. It's just the fact that we instilled a confidence and a winning attitude in them, and then they just took that and the drive that they had, and it really showed. Coming off of second place last year, we came back with a different team this year. It was a team of we had 11 national qualifiers on the women's side last year, and 9 of those were not on the team this year. And so with only 2 returning, and 1 of them redshirting this year with Ashley Miller, it just was, like I said, a different team. And so for ladies to step up and do what they did with the team that they had, it was just exceptional. And it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed the weekend, and yeah, topped it off with a Coach of the Year. That was like I said, very surprising to win that, though.
Very cool. What are your goals and expectations for next year?
Well, as always, with the recruiting class coming in, right now my mindset, our goals are set at the national meet for the remainder of this season. And then once that's over with and we start looking at cross country, we should have we had some strong teams this year in cross, and we'll even look probably stronger next year with the returning classes. We don't lose anybody off our cross country team, and so with that, we're only gaining new players coming in, so that's going to be very exciting. And then track-wise, like we always do, we always set goals to win conference. Lindenwood is always one of those kind of dark horses that we never really speak too nicely about, but it's just because of who they are. I mean, they're a strong program, and our goal is every year is to go out and try to beat them. And so that's the challenges that we look at, and we understand that. And as recruiting-wise and as coaching-wise, we try to talk to our athletes saying this is what we can do. And I firmly believe on both sides, the recruiting-wise, that we've done a terrific job. Our coaching staff has been out hitting the path quite a bit and recruiting heavily. And so with those new kids coming in, we should have a very talented team next year.
Sounds like you have a good year coming up.
It should be. We're excited.
Good. Thanks again for coming in. Now we're going to send it back to Kelsey.
Thanks for that, Dannie, and congratulations to Coach Kindler and his track and field team on a successful conference meet. Up next, Reina Murphy has a recap of the Spring Percussion Ensemble.
The Percussion Ensemble held their annual spring concert this past weekend. This semester, the ensemble is made up of 3 students, Scott Ireland, Brittany Hines, and Eric Loux.
We were just a trio this semester. In the past, we've been like a quintet and a quartet, and we only had 3 people this semester. We rehearse twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 in the morning, which is not the best time of day to rehearse, but the kids have gotten used to it.
Cellist Eric Loux composed and performed his first percussion piece with the trio during Saturday's concert.
It's really cool to be able to have a percussion trio, especially because this is the first piece that I've had that had primarily non-tonal instruments as opposed to instruments of definite pitch. So it was really cool to be able to hear that and have a melody that isn't exactly what we consider to be a melody in the strictest sense of the word.
Guest performers and alumni joined the trio during the concert, which made it larger than past percussion events.
I was real pleased with the results. I thought it all came out great. It was super seeing all the kids again that were here before. And it'll be more the same kind of thing next year. I don't know how big the ensemble will be. It might be 3 people again, it might be 4, it might be larger, depending on if we get some incoming freshmen and whether the people want to do percussion that do other instruments here. And we'll present a concert towards the end of the semester like we always do. We always present one in the fall and then again in the spring.
The next percussion performance will take place in the fall. I'm Reina Murphy reporting for KNBU TV.
Thanks for that, Reina. SAC's final comedy show took place last Thursday in the Union Cafeteria. The act featured comedian Pete Lee, who traveled to Baldwin City from New York to take part in the Spring Comedy Series.
4 members of Student Activities Council went to NACA, which was in Arlington, Texas. And we just sat through a bunch of educational sessions to better our leadership abilities. And then there were 4 or 5 NACA showcases where we sat down for about 2 hours and watched different performers. And Pete Lee was one of those performers, and it was great to be able to bring him to Baker.
Lee performed for a full house and satisfied crowd that night. Planning for next year's comedy series has already begun, and SAC has several names in mind.
I'd be better than all these other people. Like, you're white. Oh my god. This is hilarious. I just laughed you.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break, but stay tuned because up next is our sports segment.